Hi, my name's Chris. I'm the Rusty Caveman. We're currently in the man cave slash my office slash whatever. Anyway, warehouse. Today we are going to be doing the propane heater two-step. We're going to shuffle them around a little bit. If you remember from a few videos back, the heater that we had in the cabin died. Got clogged up, plates wouldn't push propane. It had reached its time. I think I'd had it for almost 10 years. Anyway, so I went out to buy a new heater for that for the cabin. Well, couldn't find one. All I could find was this 30,000 BTU heater that's sitting right here. And so we took the blue flame heater, which by the way I'm not a fan of, and we took it down to the cabin and hooked it up there, and we hooked the 30,000 here. Well, we're going to shuffle things around again. We're going to, the heater in Dad's basement died. It just wouldn't kick on. It was actually an old fireplace insert that I had gotten from a friend of mine probably close to 15 years ago, maybe more. Anyway, it was a great little unit, kicked out a lot of heat, had a really pretty flame. It was quite enjoyable. Anyway, we put that down in Dad's basement. Dad's used it last year, worked great. This year won't work. We had it cleaned out. Dust gets inside the burner and things like that, causes an obstruction, changes how the gas works in there, and it has to be cleaned out. Anyway, that didn't resolve the issue. The problem appears to be a relay. When it hits a certain temperature and would normally kick it out, apparently it kicks it out and kicks the turns the propane off completely. It kills the pilot light and won't kick back on. Anyway, that's the problem. So Dad went out to buy a new heater. I told him, if you're going to go out and buy a new heater, and if you can find a 20,000 BTU catalytic, buy that, and I will give you my 30, or I'll trade you with my 30,000 BTU heater I have in here, which is 2 months old, 3 months old at the most. Anyway, because I need a smaller heater in here, he needs a bigger heater in the basement. So what's going to happen? And it should be fairly easy to do, but I've said that before and it hasn't quite worked out. So we'll see how this goes. I'm going to take the brand new heater he got, the 20,000. I take the heater unit itself out and the bracket, but I think the bracket's the same size. Take it down to the cabin, replace the blue flame that's there with the new catalytic, bring the blue flame up here to the warehouse, install it here, and then take us 30,000 and go down and install it in Dad's basement. Again, that's the idea. We'll see how it goes. That's what it looks like unboxed. Alright, this is our existing blue flame. It's in the cabin. It's 20,000 BTU. It's the one that's going to the warehouse. And that's all there is to it. Let's get the other one installed. This is a dual fuel type heater. It's a little bit different than the blue flame. Anyway, we're going to be using the propane only side. I actually decided that I'm going to change it up a little bit. Use Dad's monkey wrench because it's smaller. There's a good bite. I'm going to see if I can figure out some way to get this. Oh, it's off. It's loose. Didn't expect that. Get rid of the old tape. Clean it up. These two are still very tight. I grabbed the pipe dope instead of using the tape because I kind of prefer it. So I'm just going to stick a little bit on here. This is the end that'll go into the heater. I need to get to point out this side. Yeah, that's good right there. This has a little seal in it, so let's get the old tape off of this one. Over tighten it enough. Right up here is where the igniter battery goes. So I'm gonna grab that real quick. It's just a little AAA battery. I believe it goes like that. Yep, it lights. So let's turn this off. Turn our gas back on. This is going to take a couple minutes for the pilot light to come through. So I'll just hold it for a minute. Nope, not yet. Almost. Okay, we've got our pilot light lit. I'm going to hold that for about another minute just to make sure that there's no little puffs and pops coming out of the hose from the fact that the propane drained out of it. And that's it. Now it's going to smell for a little while in here, but that'll go away pretty quickly. And right there between 1 and 2, that's pretty much the temperature that we heat this cabin at. And since this is now radiant heat, it will warm up the stairs, everything in this particular area, and will actually help warm the cabin better. That's it. Plates are starting to glow. Heater kicked, the fan kicked on, which by the way is a little bit on the weird side. I've got one of these little switches from Amazon, and basically it's just a temperature switch. Here's the probe right there, and what happens is I've got it set to, I think I got it set to 86 degrees. So once the temperature above the heater gets 86 degrees, that little fan kicks on, and that's what pushes the heat around the cabin. Now, when this thing cuts off, when it cools down to about 86 degrees, then it shuts the fan off, and that's it. It's a perfect little add-on. Now these, you can order a fan for these, so I think I'm going to go ahead and do that and see if it takes the place of this little jerry-rigged mess. So, that's it for the cabin. It's done. That should give us a little more light. Now I believe this is going to be the same exact size. And it is. Fantastic. This needs to come out so I can level it. Put in the new one. It is a little dark in here, so I hope you can see it. But basically, it's the hose for the propane. And unfortunately, I also need to pull that off. Well, that will be edited for language issues. That piece did not want to come out, and it's pretty well foobar, so it will never be used again. I'll have to throw that one in the trash or in the scrap or something. Anyway, I'm putting the flare fitting on here now. I put some pipe dope on it, so it should seal up nice. Part of the problem with that fitting is I put it on too tight. And there's a good chance the last one I put on might have been a little too tight too. Either way, it won't leak. Alright. Put it on snug and just a little bit more. That's the way you should do it. Okay, I'm going to put the hose back on. This is a flare fitting, so it will self-seal. It's on tight. Let's put the igniter battery back in because it was really starting to piss me off. And it's happy. Looks like my propane tank is almost empty. Now, because these go on the inside of the propane nozzle, they are reverse threaded. Tight a little bit further. Now, best practice means don't have the propane tank inside the building. And when this gets to the final construction part, it won't be. It'll go through the wall, sit outside. But for right now, it's going to have to be right here. And the blue flame's working. The longer it burns, the more the yellow flame will go away. And this tank is almost empty, so that isn't helping. Anyway, that heater's been replaced now. I'll carry that one down to the basement. That's the 30,000 BTU unit. And get it set up. However, we've got to pull the old unit out, put up a piece of OSB, mount the hanger, and put the new unit in. Which that one has an indoor, properly done, indoor flexible tube, but it also goes onto a flare fitting instead of a pipe thread fitting. So I have a whole bunch of flare fittings down in the basement in my leftover plumbing gas box. Probably have the right one, might not. I know the one that's on it is a half inch to flare. The one that's on the old unit might be the 3/8 to a flare, which is what this is. So we might just have to take the old one off, and it'll work. If that's the case, we're good to go. Probably will not include that install on this video because you've already seen me do it twice. And the other one is essentially the same thing. Put a fitting in the bottom, hang it on the wall, attach your hose, turn the valve back on, give it a minute to fill the tube with propane, light it. You're done. So how easy these things are. Anybody can install these things. With the cabin, the gas pipe goes out. You saw that in the previous video 2-3 months ago. This one right here, the tank is sitting right there. It's not near the direct line of heat or anything like that. The tank will stay cold to the touch because this floor is cold. And once we insulate this floor where everything has to come out, we'll find the final resting place for that heater, and wherever that is, we'll drill a hole going to the outside, and the tank will be outside. Anyway, so anyway, I'm going to call this video done. My name's Chris. I'm the Rusty Caveman, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you very much. You all have a good day. Bye. Now this is recorded with the phone, so it's going to be a little bit different, but this is what we have to deal with. This old fireplace insert. That little regulator unit is what's bad. We have this hose. It almost looks like a 1/4 inch hose. And then we have the 30,000 BTU here. As you see, let me back up a little bit. You can see the 30 BTU is almost the same size as the old insert, which means it'll be really easy to mount that thing in there. Well, the job's completed. That thing barely fit in there, but it's done.